You alleged too that Nicole Murphy had relations with your ex-husband. Were you two friends?
Mm-hmm. Birthday parties. I've been to her house. She was at my bachelorette party. But you know what? At that time, my mother told me then. She said, but you got to watch that one there. And I was like, who? I said, the one dancing. She said, yes, that's Eddie Murphy's wife. I don't know if she's a homewrecker or not. I can't answer that, but I know that what she's doing to people's homes is just wrecking it.
Right. Lisa Raye said it before, and she came back now to confirm it. Nicole Murphy is wrecking them families, people. Let's make one thing clear. Lisa Raye isn't holding back when it comes to Nicole Murphy. The tea's been simmering for a while, but now it's boiling over as Lisa spills all about Nicole's role in breaking up marriages. The feud between these two has fans buzzing, and the receipts are piling up. Lisa Raye opens up, and she started pulling out those same receipts just the other day when she sat down with Carlos King and opened up about her marriage to Michael Misick, the former Prime Minister of Turks and Caicos. This isn't the first time she spilled tea about their messy relationship, but this time, she got real about his wild behavior. You see, Michael was out here being reckless, cheating with multiple women and even bringing his side chicks into their home, while Lisa was there. As it turns out, one of the women he cheated with was none other than Nicole Murphy, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife and someone Lisa considered a friend. You can imagine how betrayed Lisa felt when she found out. But this ain't even Nicole's first time being accused of breaking up homes. She was also caught creeping with actress Layla Rochan's husband, Antoine Fuqua. Lisa discovered Nicole was messing with her ex-husband when she spotted Nicole's name on a flight list. The Prime Minister owned the plane, so Lisa had access to see who was coming and going. Seeing Nicole's name raised major red flags, and it all started to click.
I had checked the manifest of my plane because we owned a plane. And so when you check that list, it says all the people that have rode on the plane. And she didn't ride on it with me, and nor did she receive an invitation from me. So if you had a girlfriend that has her own island, I would think that you would call and say, hey girl, I'm coming, because I was getting everybody to come. So why you would accept an invitation from him and you don't even know him is unbeknownst to me. I don't know how that could happen. Do you? I guess not.
Nicole Murphy's name seems to pop up anytime Hollywood gets messy with relationships, and Lisa Raye McCoy was not afraid to call her out. But there's way more to Nicole's dating history than what Lisa Raye had to tell us. Nicole's history? Let's start with the big one, Eddie Murphy. Nicole's most famous relationship was with the comedy legend himself. They linked up in 1988, tied the knot in 93, and stayed married for 13 years. They even had 5 kids together: Bria, Miles, Shane, Zola, and Bella. But in 2006, things fell apart. On the surface, it seemed cool, but folks couldn't help but speculate that Eddie's wandering eye had something to do with it, especially after that infamous 1997 moment when he got pulled over with a transgender worker in his car. Eddie swore he was just being a good Samaritan giving her a ride, but the media went wild with it. Whatever the reason, by 2006, Nicole and Eddie were officially done. So not long after her split from Eddie, rumors started flying that Nicole had a brief fling with basketball legend Michael Jordan. There wasn't much proof, but the streets were talking. Whether it was just a casual thing or something more serious, it added to her rep as someone who loves powerful men with money. Then came Michael Strawn, the ex-NFL star turned TV host. Nicole and Michael started dating in 2007 and got engaged in 2009. For a minute, they seemed perfect, blending families, hitting red carpets, all of that. But after a 5-year engagement, they called it quits in 2014. The official story is that their bi-coastal relationship couldn't work, with Michael in New York and Nicole in LA. But rumors of cheating were swirling, and there was even talk of Michael putting tracking devices on Nicole's car. Oh, and let's not forget the Nick Cannon situation. In 2015, Nicole was linked to Nick, who had just separated from Mariah Carey, but wasn't fully divorced yet. They were spotted having dinner and even shopping for furniture together, which had folks wondering if they were setting up house. They both denied it, but with Nicole's track record of denying things that later turned out to be true, people stayed side-eyeing the whole situation. So whether it's Eddie, Michael Strawn, or even Nick Cannon, Nicole's name keeps popping up alongside high-profile people. Homewrecker. And let's not forget, Nicole's actions tie into the bigger picture of Hollywood drama. She's been labeled a homewrecker more than once, and these situations have raised eyebrows about trust and loyalty in celebrity circles. Why do so many of these scandals seem to involve people who know each other personally? Like Nicole being Lisa's friend just made things 10 times worse. And the same goes for Antoine's situation. He and Nicole ran in the same circles. And honestly, these aren't isolated cases. Hollywood is full of stories where friendships and relationships get tangled up in scandals. Nicole's name just happens to come up often, whether it's tied to Lisa Raye, Antoine Fuqua, or even just the general perception of her in the industry. People wonder if she's just unlucky to get caught up in these situations, or if there's a pattern here. At the end of the day, all of this shows how messy things can get when personal and professional lines blur in Hollywood. Dwayne involved? This story is already messy, but it gets even crazier. Lisa Raye started talking about Dwayne Martin's role in her marriage falling apart. If you didn't know, Dwayne was her friend and co-star on All of Us, but according to Lisa, he turned out to be a snake. He was out here sliding into her marriage in the worst way. Lisa said Dwayne would show up at their house when her husband, Michael Missick, wasn't even around. And what's wild is that he wasn't just trying to cause drama, he was actively trying to replace Lisa in her husband's life. See, Lisa's marriage to Michael wasn't just about love, it was also about connections. Michael, as the prime minister, had power and access, but Lisa brought the Hollywood plug to the table. She helped him build relationships in the US, and in return, she got to enjoy the perks of being a first lady. But then Dwayne stepped in, trying to become Michael's new Hollywood connection. He introduced Michael to other people in the industry and even brought women around, basically helping him cheat. To make it worse, Dwayne wasn't any better in his own marriage to Tisha Campbell. He was out here cheating on her too.
Because, we know him as Will Smith's best friend and obviously as the legendary Tisha Campbell's husband.
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband, sorry. I mean, at the time, yeah. Husband, but yes, ex-husband now. Were you the one who had to tell Tisha Campbell that her man was cheating on her?
It wasn't my place. I did not, and I can't even answer that because I don't know. No, I was not in the room with him, obviously. I knew that there was some inappropriate things that was going on, that why he was coming back and forth to Turks, and I couldn't stop him from coming to my house when I would say to him, I no longer want you in the vicinity of me. You and I are no longer friends.
You said this to him?
Yes.
And he would still come over anyway?
Mm-hmm.
In your house?
Mm-hmm. My butler said to me, he said, First Lady, Mr. Martin is here. Premier's not here, so should he stay in the big house or do I give him one of the guest homes? And I didn't want to put my butler in the middle. I wanted to say, tell his ass to go home. But, and I said, I didn't even know that he was there, but wrapping my head around that, I'm thinking, why would he be husband when I've mentioned that I no longer want to even see him? So you all got that much business going on that you saying, forget me.
This woman just keeps on delivering. Carlos King also really knows how to ask the right questions and keep things interesting. We found out a lot of stuff about Lisa Raye, and her fans finally got to hear some much-needed deets about her personal life. Lisa Raye McCoy's interview gave us so much to unpack, not just the drama with Nicole Murphy and Dwayne Martin, although we'll talk more about that later. She also gives us a deeper look at who she is and how she sees the world. More on Lisa Raye. For starters, Lisa Raye isn't just the glamorous diva people see on screen. At home, she's super chill. She loves cooking and lounging on the couch watching movies. She even describes herself as a pretty lady, who's more about grace than being overly sexy, which makes you see her in a whole new light. But Hollywood didn't always get that. Early in her career, she was typecast as the sexy neighbor or the eye candy, which made it tough for her to land serious roles. It wasn't until recently, like in the past 6 years, that she finally started booking roles that let her show more depth as an actress. One thing she made clear, her beauty has been both a gift and a curse. It helped her get noticed, sure, but it also boxed her into certain roles. And while people might think she leaned on her looks to get ahead, Lisa Raye values kindness and how people treat each other way more than appearances. What's also interesting is that despite her challenges, she said she never dealt with any of those shady casting couch situations in Hollywood, which is something a lot of actresses have spoken about. Her acting process is pretty cool too. Lisa Raye said getting into character reminds her of her modeling days when she'd switch up her persona in an instant. That skill has helped her survive in a tough industry. She's also not afraid to call out what's wrong with Hollywood today, like how there's way too much oversharing and not enough focus on media training and artist development. She thinks new artists could really benefit from learning how to handle fame more professionally. And let's talk about her sense of humor. She joked about how she could have turned her role in the Players Club into a real-life business by opening Queen of Diamonds clubs. It's a funny thought, but it also shows how she doesn't take herself too seriously. Still, not everything is lighthearted. She also opened up about having tough conversations about infidelity, which has clearly been a recurring theme in her life, whether it's in her own relationships or what she's seen around her. Now, let's move on from the interview and get back to Dwayne Martin real quick, because Lisa Raye ain't the only one who he did dirty. Dwayne's story? Let's call it as it is. Dwayne Martin seems like a total snake. He didn't just do his ex-wife Tisha dirty, he did Lisa Raye wrong too. That's why Lisa Raye and Tisha eventually linked up and got emotional about everything Dwayne put them through. He really left a mark on both of them with his messy behavior. Now don't get it twisted, Lisa Raye's ex-husband wasn't any better. He was trifling in his own ways. But Dwayne? He knew exactly what he was doing, and it's pretty clear he was low-key gunning for Lisa Raye's spot all along. His story is all over the place too. Tisha and Dwayne's marriage was anything but smooth, and after more than 20 years together, things ended in a messy divorce. They separated in 2016 and officially filed in 2018, and that's when all kinds of issues came to light. Tisha claims she went through emotional, mental, and even physical abuse during their relationship. In 2019, she filed for a restraining order, saying Dwayne had been for 2 decades. One particularly disturbing incident from 2016 involved him slamming her against a wall by her neck. Their financial situation during the divorce was just as messy. Both were accused of hiding $50,000 during their bankruptcy case, and Tisha later claimed Dwayne had been keeping multiple streams of income a secret while they were married. This sparked a legal battle too, with Tisha asking for spousal support after finding out he wasn't as broke as he made it seem. The divorce left Tisha in a tough spot when it comes to money. She once shared that she only had $7 to her name and basically had to start over.
Left her almost completely broke. I don't know if y'all saw the story, but she told Entertainment Tonight that she had maybe $7 to her name and she was scared. She said it was like starting all over again. She did bounce back professionally, but she's not looking for love again and stated, "I'm the happiest I've ever been and I don't want a relationship, so don't ask me that shit no more." What are your thoughts about that? And I had no idea it got that bad for her, but isn't that how a Black woman is though? We'll make it look like it's all good, but really privately dealing with a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
So what do you think about her sharing that? She was down to $7.
But despite all the pain, she described the experience as a beautiful devastation that helped her rediscover who she was beyond being a wife and mom. It's easy to see that Dwayne was playing a double game, showing up in Lisa Raye's life while tearing apart his own marriage at the same time. And of course, Lisa Raye wasn't the only one betrayed by Dwayne. Tisha later linked up with Lisa Raye after the divorce, bonding over how Dwayne had messed with both of their lives. To these two women, who were both burned by him, shared an emotional moment, realizing they'd been manipulated by someone they trusted. Dwayne's reputation took a serious hit after all these allegations, but what makes it even messier is that his actions seem to ripple through the lives of the people closest to him. It's a classic Hollywood case of the rich and powerful hiding their dirt while using their connections to cover up the wreckage they leave behind. And for Tisha and Lisa Raye, the trauma didn't just come from their marriages. They both had to deal with the fact that someone they trusted, who was supposed to have their back, was the one doing the most damage. From Lisa Raye's heartbreak to Tisha's struggles, it's clear that loyalty isn't always guaranteed, even among close friends. Whether Nicole deserves the title of Homewrecker or not, one thing's for sure. Her name stays in the mix when things go south in Hollywood marriages. Do you think she deserves to be called that? Let us know what you think about it below in the comments section. And don't go before you check this video out too.